So what have you got for us today, Susan?
Yeah, well, I have something that you have been
my eye on for a while.
Yeah, this is a long project of mine that I have been fantasizing over and dreaming about in my head for so long. I'll let you do the honors yourself.
Please do. Jazakallah. Thank you.
Well, yeah.
So. Whenever there's you make an Irish perfume, I always become very excited because Iris is one of my favourite notes, and I remember one of the first perfumes that captivated me really was Iris Noir.
Iris Noir.
Yeah, it has such a real creamy sort of beautiful quality to it, buttery quality, but sort of like clean and angelic almost as well. Yeah. I'm loving the new plaques as well.
I love the plaques. These new plaques are a whole other level for me personally. I really appreciate the craftsmanship that they put into them.
Really well made.
Yeah.
Really well made.
Yeah.
Right. Bismillah.
Let's go.
Oh wow, yeah. I'm glad I've got that on my list.
Yeah.
What ordered it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's really good. It's sort of it hones in on the sort of like you've got Iris Garlier, which is more on the sort of purple rendition of Iris. This is more sort of the white.
Yeah. So if you can imagine Iris without the animalic funk of Iris Ghalia, and Ghalia, what it means in Arabic is the expensive one. But by expensive, what they mean is like
the best is the best.
The best of the best. Yeah. Also because it's so rich and replete. Right, and overladen with very rich and cloying almost aromatics. So Ghalia by definition has to be over the top.
Yeah. Opulent.
Yeah. You know, exuding this royal flair. You know, it was for the courts of the royals, the sultans, and the big shuyukh in the past. Iris Noir, on the other hand, was a take which was not quite as replete as Iris Ghalia. This was a dark iris, you know, laden with dark resins, oud, incense, dark notes, like a suave, stylish, almost like an sophisticated, you know, take on iris. And also the Black Iris was the flower of Jordan, the national flower of Jordan, where I was.
And I think in the description it talks about like the Jordanian night, you know, the
exactly.
desert,
that's where I was living and working when I made Iris Noir. So it was actually inspired by that entire climate, the entire setting of the Jordan River Valley and the Jordanian.
And it suits that area. I don't know why, but in my head it sort of suits that.
Yeah, it has that dry desert.
Yeah, that does look cool as well, because at night time in Jordan you've got that relief from the
rich
of the
as well. Whereas here, what I wanted to do with Iris Blanc is an iris for every day.
Yeah.
Like an iris that has the beauty, the sophistication, the richness, the repleteness, but that strikes a perfect balance, right? And doesn't actually overdo any of the facets.
No, it's very sort of like balanced. There's sort of like a fruity sort of
fruity undertone. There's plenty of black currant and
blackcurrant.
Exactly. Plenty of black currant and peach and raspberry and strawberry facets in there. The main thing that I wanted though is for the color, because every scent has like, if you can see it this way, every scent has a color that it brings to mind. Like you think of like Oud Yusuf and you think like, oh, that's orange.
Yellow, apricot,
you know. You think like Oud Royale and it's like this very dark black, you know, like rich
sort of burgundy, sort of red.
Yeah, or like a royal burgundy. Yeah. Whereas if you think of it, Iris Blanc, right? It's iris, but without the the super animalic oomph of
Yeah.
Irish
Like
Valley.
white.
You know,
Clean.
without the blackness of Irish Noir.
Yeah.
You know, and just something that you could wear anywhere and have the same satisfaction, the same fulfillment, while avoiding the controversy of these other smells.
Yeah.
And you know what? Art, I find, art is evolution, right? So when you do these things, that you start with the most experimental. Like every artist inadvertently starts with being very experimental, very bold. Like Irish Valley was one of my first perfumes, right? And then you want to strike a balance where you attain that same beauty, but with avoiding the controversy. You want to make it where everybody can see like a beautiful painting and not feel that they're being overwhelmed or that they're being like, that their psyche is being invaded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're both, you know, they're both offspring of the same creative, you know, brain. I guess
Different moods.
chronology plays a part. You know, chronology, the art evolves, and what you do is you become, you know, you want to capture the chaos within a single note as you go on. It's like you want to make it as rich, as replete as you can. One of the biggest challenges in artistry, whether it's painting or writing or perfumery or what have you, is to keep it simple. And this is probably the most complex of the Irish perfumes that I've ever made.
Yeah.
But if you smell it,
It's very well blended together.
it's blended in a way that all the notes are so seamlessly put together that to actually do that is a lot more difficult than making a controversial perfume.
Yeah, definitely.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, most
Yeah,
definitely.
so like we have like aspiring perfumers that the first thing they want to do is do something really controversial.
Yeah.
Really, that's
Because that makes waves then, doesn't it?
yeah, stuff to raise eyebrows.
Yeah.
And that's easy to do.
Yeah.
Right? But to do something even more complicated than that
Yeah.
and have it be totally acceptable, like within any kind of social setting.
Yeah.
You can go to the museum, you can go to the office, you can go to the opera,
Yeah.
and you won't offend anybody.
Yeah.
And they say, "Wow, what a refined taste this gentleman has."
You know, this doesn't mean that it's not an interesting composition with a lot going off.
Right.
It just means it's more blended or balanced. Or
It's more tortured.
Whereas,
It's more, you know, it's like you've gone through and you've polished every single thing a million times, and you've then gone back again and polished it over again another time, and the way that it interacts with the heart, the way the base comes out when it evolves and it reaches that phase, the way the top fades into the heart. All these things are so tortured at every point. It's like this book, the Remembrance of Things Past, you know, by Marcel Proust, this French author. He used to live in an attic and write all night long, and he used to like look at every single sentence and every syllable over and over and over, and he just like, it was so tortured that when you actually read it, it's like, wow, you know, how do you do that? And it could have been a lot more simple than that, but he really outdid himself to do that. And I guess the effort that you put in is what matters in the end.
Yeah, of course.
That's what will shine through. But what, I mean, in your own words, it's enough of me like going on about it. What do you make of it?
I think it's beautiful. I think it again, it's another take on Iris.
Yes.
It's very different to Iris Noir. It's very different to Iris Gallia. So if you own those already and you love Iris, then you should most definitely get this as well. It's like you say, it's very well blended, so it's hard for me to sort of say, look, I get this, I get this, I get this.
Do you mind if
I've got
I
the black?
ask
Yeah, we can go ahead. I mean, I've got the black currant.
Yeah.
There's a juiciness to it, but it's also very sort of like clean, pristine Iris.
The Blanc.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the name suits it very well. I think people might think they see a purple plaque and they'll think, oh, it's going to be another sort of purple take on Iris, but no, it's very good.
The colors have been muted.
Yeah.
All we have here is the heart
It's
of
like
Iris.
sunlight coming through.
Yes.
Yeah.
The heart of Iris stripped, of all colorations, and it's just this sparkly, irisy effervescence that keeps on performing and gives and gives and gives. It's not as overwhelming as Iris Gallia, for example, but as a performer, I don't think that it underperforms.
No, not at all. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting like wafts now. It's very, very good. It's not muted by any means. It's just very blended. It's very well blended.
Yeah.
And there's not these. There's not like loads of things like saying, "Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me." It's just all together in union.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope everybody will certainly add this to their Iris EO collection.
I'm glad I have.
Yeah. And, I'm very happy with the way it came out, and I hope to hear back from everyone who's got their bottles and see what you made of it, and how you would envision the next EO Iris creation. You know, Iris is one of my favorite notes, and so there will always be a infatuation with Iris. Like I think in Iris.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's so multi-dimensional, which I think what you've shown here with just the 3 perfumes that you've mentioned. Iris Noir, you've got the darker facets, you've got the purple facets, and each one is sort of like, it's a different sort of like vibrational frequency.
Yes, exactly.
Different mood.
Exactly.
This feels quite not somber, but sort of reserved, whereas the other ones, like you say, are more punch, 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 punch.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Excellent. Well, stay tuned for more videos, and be sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video if you want to see more content like this. And we would love to hear what you thought of Perfume in the comments. Take care until next time.
Take care, guys.